So why the orb strategy is working while other strategies are not. Why the other strategies are failing. Now, I'm going to give you my experience. This is not a knock against anybody who is trading any differently. What I'm saying is my experience of succeeding with the orb strategy has been highly effective. I have been receiving a lot of results, including me trading and testing this strategy on my evaluation accounts, and it got me funded within 3 days, which is insanely fast. Um, as regards to the strategy that I used to trade, which is the supply and demand. Now, it's not to say I do not trade supply and demand anymore. It's just to say that I have transitioned to trade the orb strategy a lot more now and consistently. And the reason why that this is more consistent for me is because number one, it's helped me to become more patient. Now, why has it helped me to become more patient? Well, I remember when I used to trade New York session pre-New York, like 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Eastern, and then 8 o'clock, and then waiting for 9 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock. And it's not that there was nothing wrong with trading around that session, but sometimes I would trade too early before I allow the markets to actually wake up. With the orb strategy, which is the open range breakout strategy, you're waiting for a specific time, which is the 9:30 open. Why? It's because that's when the New York Stock Exchange opens, and I have seen the most volume around that time. So it's helped me to wait for the markets to wake up so I can take the best trade possible. And if you notice, there's a lot of news that happens way before New York Open as well. So it's helped me not get involved in a lot of news either. So yeah, man, it's been definitely helping me in that era. The next thing is having to wait for the volume to break out of a range. So what the orb is, when the volume breaks out of a range, you then look for the trade to retrace back to the orb line for a retest, or as what you can say, the Fibonacci levels, if you tend to add on the Fibonacci tool as well. Now, why is this more highly effective? Why is this better than when I used to trade supply and demand? Let me give you a clear example. When I used to trade supply and demand, I realized that I was fishing for zones all over the place. When you're trading supply and demand, you're not just looking for one supply, one demand. A lot of times I was looking for many supplies and many demands. And whatever seemed the most closest to the time frame that I was trading, that's the one I would choose. Not knowing that, yeah, you might get an A+ setup on a supply and demand, but all supply and demands don't look the same. Some of them aren't A+ setups. Some of these zones are really low probability. But I would take it anyways, and when I take it, I will lose. It would frustrate me because these zones tend to change. It's the same thing with support and resistance. When you look for support and resistance, a lot of people are looking for any support and any resistance. They're like, here's a support right here, here's a support right here, here's another resistance right here, here's another resistance right there. And they'll trade all of them thinking that it's just going to magically work. Now, I'm not saying support and resistance does not work, but know that you are already fishing for trades all the time. And then it causes your brain to overthink everything. With the orb strategy, what I like about it, not only are you waiting for an open range breakout of the orb, but you're just waiting off a retest off of a line. And when it retests off a line, the line doesn't change. The line stays the same. You don't look at the line and says, oh, this is a high probability or it's a low probability. No, because it's a line. You're just waiting for the retest off that line. So if you do not know how to trade the orb strategy, I'm going to link it in my description. I'm going to link the one that's basic, and then I'm going to link the one that I'm currently using that's a little bit more advanced with the Fibonacci levels. And not only has it helped me to become patient and wait for my setup, but it's helped me to not trade in a range. For example, my mentor that I actually salute to, who got me here, he took a trade the other day. He took a supply setup, I believe, or a sell breakout is what you say. And it was a valid sell breakout off the 1 minute chart. However, when I looked at my orb strategy on a 15-minute time frame and I boxed it up, I realized even when he took that loss, he probably didn't realize he was trading within a range on a 15-minute time frame, and then it flipped bullish on him. And what I did is I waited for that bull candle to break out of that range, so then I'll wait for a retest for my entry. And when I got to thinking about that, I was like, man, sometimes we trade support and resistance, supply and demand within the range, which is crazy to me as the more I analyze the charts. That doesn't make me any better. It just means that I have more patience. And another reason, it gives me a better stop loss. When I'm entering my trade, I get a cushion of a stop loss. I'm not sitting here just placing my stop loss below a candle. I'm actually placing my stop loss below or above a zone or a place that looks a lot more that makes more sense to me. I'm giving myself cushion. The orb strategy has helped me become more patient. It's helped me not to fish for zones, fish for any trades. It helped me not to be super greedy and holding every single trade and trying to be FOMO'd and like, man, I missed out. Because a lot of times, even if you feel like you missed out, a lot of times it retraces right back to the orb line. So in regards to that, this is the reason why, for me personally, why the orb strategy has been more effective than many other strategies, and why many other strategies have been failing. But also, I'm going to land the plane with this. Have you ever noticed that sometimes those strategies just do not show up every day? Sometimes you're like, man, supply and demand have not been showing up like it used to. And then when it does, and if you train the breakouts, you're like, man, the breakouts have not been showing up like they used to. But if you realize with the orb strategy, it's showing up every single day. Why? Because all you're doing is wait for a breakout off a line and a retest off that line, or a breakout off the line and a retest off of the Fibonacci levels. So once you are looking for those Fibonacci level retracements, you're not looking for a zone, and you're not looking at a high or low probability setup. You're just looking at the volatility of the market and the retrace and making sure, like, okay, is it rejecting here? Should I enter here? It makes more sense to you is what I'm trying to say. You're just literally sitting on your hands until the market comes to you. So then again, hope you guys enjoy this video. If you have any questions about the orb, please give it a comment. Like this video. If you guys are in desperate need of a strategy, go in my description. Look up to those two videos that I will be posting there, and I'll see you guys in the next.